Hello and welcome to Unofficially Eurovision, the podcast where we talk all things Eurovision, news, guests and games. My name is Josh, I'm a musician and Eurovision superfan from the UK, and on tonight's show, I begin to lose my mind, Serbia teaches us how to wash our hands properly, and we talk to the smartest Eurovision fan on the planet. Don't forget to hit that follow button to stay up to date with the podcast, and without further ado, cue the music. Now, if you weren't aware, because you've been living under a rock that's under a rock, Eurovision is headed across the pond to America this year. More specifically, to the country of the USA. The competition will begin in the coming weeks where all 50 states, plus a few territories like Puerto Rico and Guam, will compete to win Best Original Song, which sounds like an award you might win in a high school talent competition. Nevertheless, this is America, so no doubt it will contain cascades of incredible talent, country music, and absolutely no humour whatsoever, just like this podcast. But why is this relevant to us, other than it being a classic American rip-off of a European show? Well, in fact, not only will the contest have semi-finals and a final, it will also contain previous rounds of heats and quarter-finals, which begs the question that absolutely no one has asked ever. Could Eurovision have quarterfinals? Now, for those of you who had the pleasure of watching Lithuania's national selection during the 2010s, your immediate reaction to this would be no, and rightly so. However, Eurovision regularly hosts over 40 countries during Eurovision Week, and with many countries such as Andorra and Monaco potentially looking to return, and other countries like Kazakhstan and Liechtenstein possibly looking to debut in the coming years, we could be repeating the same history that occurred during the 90s. In that decade, there were more countries who wanted to compete at the contest than there were available spaces at the contest. Because of this, the EBU eventually created a semi-final in 2004 to allow these countries to compete, but most importantly so they could make more money. Nowadays, we have two semi-finals, and as of Eurovision 2022, the EBU allows only a maximum of 44 nations to battle it out on stage. This is down from 46 just last year, not that we've ever had that many. No, in fact, the most countries we've ever had at Eurovision was 43 in 2008, 2011 and 2018. If Andorra, Monaco, Kazakhstan, Liechtenstein and other countries like Luxembourg, Kosovo and many more decided, hey, we want to get involved with Eurovision too, the EBU would currently have no choice but to turn some of them away. But then, hypothetically, how would quarterfinals even work? Well, because I'm sad and lonely, I worked it out. To start with, I should explain, having quarterfinals doesn't necessarily mean that there needs to be 4 of them. There could be 3, 2, or even 1. Similar to how Eurovision pre-qualification rounds worked in 1993 and 1996. Now, let's imagine that Eurovision would have 2 quarterfinals for now. Eurovision Week would be scrapped, and in its place, Eurovision Fortnight. A blessing for all us Euro fans, but a disaster for our friends and family around us, who would have to endure us not shutting up about the contest for an entire extra week. How fun. Not to mention, of course, more songs for us all to fangirl over. The 2 quarterfinals would take place on Friday and Sunday of the previous week. Why? Because I'm not smart enough to work out the logistics of how the entire contest works, and those days would keep everything 2 days apart, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, which works nicely in my mind. The UK would, of course, be forced to take part in the quarterfinals. Mostly because I'm British and it might make us buck our ideas up, or in typical British fashion, just leave Europe again. The top 15 countries from the previous year's grand final would be guaranteed a spot in the semi-finals, which would split perfectly in half, 8 in one semi-final and 7 in the other. And the rest of the countries would have to take part in the quarterfinals. This would leave 2 quarterfinals with between 15 to 20 countries in each, 10 from each qualifying into 2 semi-finals with 18 and 17 countries respectively, and a grand final with 26 countries. This, of course, being the 20 countries that qualified from the semis, the Big Four, now without the UK, the host country, definitely not the UK, and Ireland, which is not the UK, but we're British, and it's in the British Isles, so we'll claim it as ours when we don't qualify, like we've done throughout history. Why Ireland, I hear you ask? Well, because even by qualifying them directly to the grand final, they'll still probably find a way to miss it, seeing as they've only qualified once in nearly a decade, which, statistically speaking, is incredibly difficult to do. Now, let's be real, is anything I've just said in the past 5 minutes likely to happen? Well, no, of course it's not. And for those of you who do believe this will happen, the word gullible is currently written on your ceiling. Nevertheless, it was still fun to try and visualise and work it all out. And now that this is the second episode of the podcast, I imagine some of you are slowly starting to realise how, well, mad I am. But within my incoherent waffling, I haven't completely answered our question yet. Could Eurovision actually have quarterfinals? It's chaotic enough as it is, so by adding quarterfinals, we would add yet more chaos, angry fans, and drunk Yendrix into the mix. Logistically, it would be an absolute nightmare. However, after the last few years, it appears that Eurovision can handle almost anything the world throws at it, whether it be disease, wars, politics, or, God forbid, Amanda Holden as our spokesperson again. So, why not? Eurovision, let's definitely make it possibly, maybe happen, yeah? Now it's time to do the news. If you listened at all to last episode, you will probably have noticed that the news was quite broad. That was because we had over 9 months of content to get through, Eurovision related of course. However, from this episode and the weeks in future, we will only be covering the news from the previous week in the world of Eurovision. So we'll be able to go into a bit more detail. And we begin with the Netherlands. The incredible S10 released her song De Diepte, or The Depth, as it translates to in English. Now, this is the first time since 2010 where we've had a song in Dutch from the Netherlands. In 2010, the Netherlands was represented by Sanique, an 18-year-old girl who sang the song Shalali. Now, that failed to qualify for the final, not helped by her makeup department, who did an even more impressive feat than Duncan Lawrence's win in 2019, managing to make an 18-year-old girl look like she was in her 40s, something I don't think anyone I know could do. The day after, 3 new songs were released, or should I say 2 songs and 1 revamp. Vladana released her song Breathe, Montenegro's heartwarming ballad, written in the days after her mother's death from COVID-19 last year. And the one thing about this year, 2022, is that the ballads in this year's contest are rather quite good for the majority of them. Germany had their national final, Germany 12 points, in which Malik Harris won with the song Rockstars, beating out fan favourite Felicity Lou with the song Anxiety, who finished 3rd. Ranella Hajati also released her revamp of Secret in English, Albanian, and also a bit of Spanish, because why not? Like she said, it's her song and she can do what she wants with it. As we move on to Saturday, 4 new songs were selected. Denmark will be represented by Reddy with the song The Show, which hopefully will bring a bit of a show to Turin in May, because I don't know about you, but a lot of people I know didn't really keep up to date with Denmark's national final. In the shock of the weekend, Romania selected the song that people actually wanted. In recent years, Romania has been known for selecting songs that are very jury-based and not ones that televote and people are very interested in. However, despite a lot of the fan favourites being eliminated by the jury in the semi-final, the one remaining fan favourite, WRS with La Mame, was selected to represent the country. France decided not to make the same mistake as Spain and have lots of angry Eurovision fans hate them by selecting a song in a minority language and a native tongue. The song Fullen by Alvin and Ayers featured a possessed man in the middle doing some sort of dance routine. This one ahead of another fan favourite, SOA or SOA, with the song Shul. Serbia taught us how to wash our hands when Constructor won with Incorporo Sano. winning over fan favourites Zoya and Sarah Jo, quite literally blowing up on social media overnight. In other news, Iceland had their Song for Kepnin second semi-final, and now we know the full 5-song lineup for the final. And Sweden also hosted their semi-final of Melodifestivalen, in which Anna Bergendahl, Theos, Tone Sekelius and Cassiopeia all qualified for the final to complete the final 12-song lineup. Sweden always becoming a fan favourite and an expected qualifier when it comes to Eurovision. There are now 11 songs left to be released, and the surprise of the lot is that the UK is currently sitting 5th in the odds, my country. Now, obviously, this is mostly because the UK song is not known at this time, and we haven't had to deal with that disappointment yet. And also that a lot of the other countries seem to, according to Eurovision fans, be battling out for last place at the moment. But with less than 2 weeks left until all the songs have to be known to the EBU, and pretty much all of them will be released publicly, we can only hope and see what songs will be left to come out. Now it's time to spill some tea with a VIP. And my VIP today has his own Eurovision YouTube channel, which he has grown to over 5,000 subscribers and 1.5 million views. And he also quite enjoys a little sing-song. It is, of course, the fabulous Jude Kennedy, or should I say Eurovision with Jude Kennedy. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Surviving and thriving.
Exactly. Still alive, so it's very helpful. Now, I think we should start actually by talking about your Eurovision channel, because obviously that's how you've gotten involved with the community a lot. What was the sort of was there any inspiration behind starting it, or was it just a case of you just wanted to just have a go?
Yeah, my story's weird. I was kind of bored. I think it was 2019 kind of summer. And I was like, I would kind of might as well make a YouTube channel. GCSE results were coming out and I was like, let's go full study mode. Me, a nerd, I like study channel, let's go. And that was great. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And someone was like, you should just kind of give a go at reacting to Eurovision videos. Because obviously I loved Eurovision. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And it kind of took off and I was like, this is interesting. I kind of like this. I like where this is going. The study videos got no views because literally no one cares, which I found out the hard way. But the Eurovision videos were doing reasonably well. And I was like, this, could be fun. And I'm trying to remember the date. It was the 1st of January 2021 when I split that channel in two and went full Eurovision mode and also full study mode, which then the study one's kind of fallen away. Uni's hard. I don't have time for that now anymore. I'm like full on Eurovision channel, full on reactions on Eurovision with Jude Kennedy, which is kind of the new main channel.
Perfect. Yes, so that's the thing as well, I think, because I've seen that your study channel you haven't uploaded at all for a while. Because I think the last video that I saw on there was when you posted about all your A-level stuff and your results and all that sort of thing. So is there any plan to start it back again, or is it just a case of it's uni, it's really difficult now?
It's gone. I think at A-levels I kind of was comfortable in my own way of working. At uni, I don't know how it works anymore. Like, if you asked me to give you advice, I'd be like, I'd go to your lectures. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Turn
up and give it a go, and you'll possibly pass. I think, there's just so much going on in life, and everything's a bit more chaotic. That it's like, I can't really keep up the study channel. Like, Eurovision reactions are so much fun to make. They're so much faster to make and edit than those videos I was scripting, recording, and editing for hours. Eurovision reactions do not take hours to edit. It's actually not that hard. If you want to do it yourself, give it a go. It's really not that difficult. And it's just fun. And it's a lot more rewarding, I think, as well, with the community that you can build around the world as well, rather than being extremely almost Northern Ireland centric, because the school systems are different across the sea as well. So it's nice to have that bigger community.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the thing with Eurovision community. Like, ever since I've started getting more involved with it over the last sort of year, that's just literally just commenting, messaging, all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you already meet so many new people, and it's literally, like you say, it's the whole way around the world, which is fantastic. Like, it's not just, like you say, in one hometown or one home country, which is, And one thing I should mention as well, seeing as we're talking about university, is that you mentioned to me before we just started recording the subject you were studying. And I feel like a lot of people who study, especially like in my sort of area, the creative industry, are sort of having a lot of fun, having a lot of playing around and just experimenting with their stuff. Whereas, would you like to tell the lovely audience what subject you are studying?
Yeah, I studied medicinal chemistry, which is basically code for drug making. It's basically a course, that gives you an insight into chemistry and how you can use that to really enhance drug development for the future. So yeah, I was in the lab last week. We made paracetamol and aspirin. It's that kind of
fancy,
interesting.
Cool.
And obviously that will progress as we go along.
Because I was going to say, you're first year, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is exciting, I suppose. Or
Very,
is it just
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Well, good. That's the thing. I think first year especially should be very enjoyable. I know last year because I was first year last year, and it was very much a case of that COVID was obviously a very big thing.
True.
So like a lot of it was through online. So I know a lot of people as well who are studying those sort of subjects, and they got to a point where they weren't allowed to go into the labs and do all that sort of thing. But pretty cool that you're just drug making.
Yeah, drug making. I mean, don't take that out of context, please. I've had things taken out of context before. It was not good. I'll not go into that. But no, drug making, medicine making. If you want to take anything out of context, medicine making.
Medicine making. Yeah. Perfect. And a bit of alliteration for you.
Yeah, medicine making.
Perfect little bit of songwriting thing for you. Which, speaking of songwriting and music and all that, you also are quite musical yourself.
Yes.
And you sing, and you play trombone.
Yeah.
Is there any other instruments you play, or is it just the two?
No, so actually piano is my thing. Piano was the origin of everything and goes on in the background of everything. And I played French horn for 6 years. And then I switched to trombone from that. And then singing has just kind of been a thing I can do. So, yeah.
So when did you first start playing piano then?
When I was 6.
You're 6?
So
oh, wow.
That was 13 years ago.
A few years. Yeah. That's pretty cool though. Keep music. So I say, because piano is my thing. I've got my piano just off to the side here in my like tiny little room, just like trying to keep going. But you also have released your own music onto sites like Spotify and stuff like that. What's your sort of process around all of that? Is it just a case of just sit down, make something, or is there just whatever comes to you, or is there a plan behind it all?
Organized chaos. We'll stick with that.
Cool. Lovely.
I lockdown kind of got my brain working as I was kind of like, I am so done with online school. And I just started kind of making music that was vaguely similar. Like it can be taken in lots of different ways, but the kind of thing in my mind was kind of, I just want to do something more. That progressed. So I had like my first like 4 songs were kind of all around that. It's really, really dark. My music's quite dark. It's not intentionally, but it just is.
It just always ends up being that way. Yeah.
It's so much easier to write dark things.
It is.
It is. It's. I don't know what. That's really sad, but it is. And then I kind of was happy with those things and kind of just went on with my life. And then I kind of got involved in some Twitter contests because Twitter does that. And this one was someone just proposed the idea of let's have a song contest of songs that don't exist. And I was like, that's fun. I'm a join.
Interesting.
And then in the first edition, I then was like, what if I make my own song? And then, it's a song contest for songs that don't exist, but my song exists, and kind of break the fourth wall a bit. And then that opened up a whole new avenue of making music for the sake of fun and stupidity rather than seriousness. So I created, this is so stupid, I created my characters, the penguins. They have music. And, you kind of went through, I was Iceland in the competition. So I sang in Icelandic.
Oh, I heard that song this morning. Yes, it was beautiful, your Icelandic language.
Which one? There are several.
I can't remember which one it was, actually. I think it was the one that had the Iceland flag on it or something similar to Iceland
Sigrid er no grande.
There you go.
With that one. Bop. So I kind of started making music just for the fun of it. And literally just like it was more slightly intense because you had a time limit. And it was like, what can my brain do? I came first in one of the competitions for Junior Eurovision. This is mental, like the way these people's mind work. And you had 24 hours or something, 48 hours to do this. So I imagined a little baby penguin lost in Iceland because, penguins aren't in Iceland. That's the idea. And I wrote that song in about 5 minutes and it won. And I was like, this is fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
That's I think the appeal of songwriting and all that sort of thing is that it can be anything you want. You literally there's no limit. There's so many barriers you can break. You can keep it simple if you want. You can make it as complicated as you want. and you can still create something that's amazing. But my question to you is, have any of these songs, have you ever considered writing songs for Eurovision or to enter anything yourself?
I would love to. I feel like it's something that if I could get someone to properly produce it for me, because I like production, I use what I can from online and like just pull things from different places. If I could properly get a production team, then I would absolutely go for it. My life, I mean, I'm not a trained singer. I've never had a singing lesson in my life. It's just been something for fun, and I feel like that, like live singing, not sure how that goes. I do sing a bit live anyway, but like that's kind of the thing. But songwriting, I would definitely love to. It would just be who on earth would want to sing anything I made, because if I'm going to do something for Eurovision, it's going to be something so almost niche and something that I feel like would never, like I have ideas, things that I think Eurovision hasn't seen or has seen and not really explored fully that I would like to kind of go into. It's just who on earth would I get to do it? And
yeah, I think that's the thing with, especially when it's like a competition like Eurovision that crosses boundaries and all this sort of thing, and you've got so many different rules and each country has a different set of rules and regulations and everything. It's like, how can I do this? It's like, how is this all going to work? Because it's like, well, we're both UK. I know you vote in the Irish because you're Northern Ireland as well.
I can do both. Woo.
I was going to say, first of all, who do you support more? Is it the UK or Ireland when it comes to Eurovision?
Whoever I think's better that year. And to be fair, the last couple of years it's been neat. No, I'm joking. It really depends on which song I like more. And some, like even last year, I did like both songs. So I was supporting both and neither of them did well. Really, it just is whoever I prefer that year and who, interacts most with their fans and who I can kind of connect with more. So Brooke this year, I mean, Brooke's from Northern Ireland. Brooke lives like half an hour away from me. So I'm like, yes, Brooke, go for it.
Yeah, because I remember watching your reaction to it and you were very sort of already singing along to the words.
Oh, that song, so good. I've loved that song since she released it, like full on it.
I think Ireland definitely have a chance of qualifying this year. I would definitely say that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. They are in what's at the moment, as a recording, shaping up to be the stronger semi-final, I'd like to say.
I mean, it's hard to tell, to be fair. We're over halfway of the songs.
We are over halfway of the songs, yes.
By the time this is released, we'll have at least 9 more.
I think, yes.
Should be there. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, there's a few. I know, is it S10's releasing hers very soon?
Yes,
as well for the
Steen, I am so excited. I love her music. So like, this is the first time that I'm getting someone that I know. So I'm like, give us a banger in Dutch. It's in Dutch as well.
Yes, I saw that as well. Have you? So I'm guessing you've been following her.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lovely. And also we're going to have Vladana's, Montenegro's, Vladana's, her song in a few
revamp
days.
From Ranella as well.
A revamp coming out.
Her revamp's on Friday.
Yes.
Germany 12 points /0 points is on Friday.
Maybe they might get 12 point from
if they send Felicia Lou, they'll be getting my 12 points. I'll put that out there. Actually, maybe not, but still, Felicia Lou, go. Yeah. And then there's 4 finals on Saturday. So yeah, big week ahead.
And there's loads of shows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's very exciting. So by the time that you've seen that this comes out, you will have know exactly what's happened. But right now, to us two, we are sort of just praying and hoping that something good happens.
Good songs.
What do you think of the year so far, though? Like, are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it. This year, I mean, last year, obviously with reactions, I was in lockdown, so I didn't leave my house. So that was all fun. This year, I've set aside time to purposely spend on reactions. Like my Saturdays consist of me waking up, working all morning, and having the entire evening just for recording videos. So it's fun to set aside the time. It's a bit more stressful, but even with the song quality, this year has been none of my national selection winners are winning, really.
Really?
Czech Republic was good. I was like, yes, we were doing it. Ranella for Albania was a guess. See, in the past couple of selections, I've been like, my favourites are all dropping like flies. But I'm generally happy. I feel a lot of people do think it's a weak year. I think there's still hope for the year, but I'm not disappointed. Like there's at least 7, 8 songs I would listen to willingly and a lot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's some other songs I'd listen to a bit.
Definitely. Perfect. Right. I do believe that we should move on to play a little mini game. And today our mini game for you, Jude, is called Language Barrier.
Ooh. hides in panic.
Now, for those of you who do not know what the game is, which is probably all of you, considering this is the first ever time we are playing this, what will happen is I will play a English phrase in a number of different languages, 6 in total, of which in round 1 I will play 1 language, in round 2 I will play 2, and in round 3, yes, you've guessed it, I will play 3 languages. Now, you will get a point per language, quite simply. And before we begin, I must give the disclaimer. Here is our disclaimer. I, the host, hereby take no responsibility for any phrase used that, once translated into the following languages, contains words that may be rude or offensive to some people, despite the fact I am the sole person responsible for creating this game and the phrases within them. Hopefully that clears up everything.
Let's go.
Perfect. So today's English phrase for you is...
They say ignorance is bliss, that's why you're always so happy.
There we go. Lovely English phrase. They say ignorance is bliss, that's why you're always so happy. Brought to us by lovely Google Translate
Yes,
as
Google
well,
Translate
which is
voice.
lovingly... Exactly. So let's have a go. This is round 1.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear 1 language.
Sie sagen, Unwissenheit ist Glückseligkeit, deshalb bist du immer so glücklich.
You know,
Any idea?
this would be hard if I didn't speak German.
Was there any rude or offensive language
No,
in
there
that
was
phrase? There wasn't. How lovely for that. I love that. That is correct, believe it or not. It is
Would have
German.
been really awkward if it wasn't, and I was like,
It's like, yeah, no, it's actually Dutch. Yeah, it is German. I did not know you spoke German, though. How fancy. You speak every European language.
And the start of my videos, yes, Google Translate works wonders that way.
Yes, definitely. Right, that you've gotten yourself a point. Round 2, you will hear 2 languages, and these will be back to back. So wait for me to play both of them first. So here we go. Round 2.
Говорят, что невежество – это блаженство, поэтому ты всегда так счастлив.
De säger att okunnighet är lycka, det är därför du alltid är så glad.
Okay.
Any ideas?
The first one is Slavic. The second one is Scandinavian. So that's where we're coming from.
Cool.
It's which Slavic language and which Scandinavian language.
Would you like to hear them again?
I would like to hear them again just to really solidify.
Говорят, что невежество – это блаженство, поэтому ты всегда так счастлив.
De säger att okunnighet är lycka, det är därför du alltid är så glad.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Russian and Swedish.
You've got yourself another 2 points
Yes.
there. Language genius, mathematical genius.
It was me listening to the G's in Russian. I was like, are there G's? Is it Russian? And then Swedish, I was like, I mean, it could be. It's not Norwegian. I was like, is it Swedish or is it Danish? No.
There you go. You go. Perfect. Right. So that's 3 for 3 straight away, first of all. Final round, you're going to hear 3 languages back to back. Good luck. Well, I should have said that. You've got 3 out of 3 so far, so you might absolutely bang this out. Perfect. Here we go.
Þeir segja að fáfræði sé sæla, þess vegna ertu alltaf svo gladur.
Hovoria, že nevedomosť je blaženosť, preto si vždy taký šťastný.
Cehalet mutluluktur derler. Bu yüzden her zaman çok mutlusun.
Those are your 3 languages. Any ideas?
First one's Icelandic. Second one's Polish. The last one, well, the second one could be Polish. It sounded vaguely Polish. The third one, I know it's like, it sounds like it's going to be kind of Eastern European, but I've no clarity. Am I allowed to hear them again?
Of course you're allowed to hear them again. It will be all 3 in a row, though.
That's fine.
Þeir segja að fáfræði sé sæla, þess vegna ertu alltaf svo gladur.
Hovoria, že nevedomosť je blaženosť, preto si vždy taký šťastný.
Cehalet mutluluktur derler. Bu yüzden her zaman çok mutlusun.
Chokmoplusen. I'd like to say Armenian, but I don't think it is. Georgian, it's not. The words don't sound long enough. Oh,
Would you like a hint?
give me a hint. Oh, can I solidify the first 2 though? Icelandic and Polish.
If I give you this hint, that might change some of your answers to the first 2. Or
Well,
potentially.
go for it. Go for it.
Only one of these languages is from a country that currently competes at Eurovision.
Oh, okay.
as of 2022.
Oh, that does change things. I know, like, the Polish is fading and it's starting to sound a bit more like Slovak. The Icelandic, though, I'm pretty much set on. I heard Eftir, I think. And I was like, that yeah.
Okay.
Right, Icelandic, Slovak. Only one is currently competing this year. Turkish.
Oh, are you sure?
That's as sure as I'm going to be. Icelandic, Slovak, and Turkish.
All three are absolutely correct. Well done.
Yes,
6
that
points in
hint
total for
was
that round.
very helpful, because I was going in the lines of Azerbaijani. That was kind of where I was thinking, because I was like, But that was essentially that. I was like, it's got to be Turkish. The language nerd in me is celebrating.
I would love to say that I'm a language nerd because I do enjoy languages. I just can't be asked to learn half of them because I'm English.
Fair.
Yeah. And
Fair.
that's how we survive. But yes, that is 6 out of 6 for language barrier. 100%.
Ooh.
That's pretty much exactly what you got on every single test you've ever done in your life by the sounds of things.
Dies at university. Like,
Perfect. Right. Now we will move on to the fan Q&A section, where quite simply we have got some fans of the show and fans of you and your channel to ask some questions, quite simply. And I'm going to ask them to you right now. So the first question is, what is your favourite Eurovision song of 2021? So last year.
ooh. I mean, people who know me know this. It is the one and only Tout l'univers by John's Tears.
Yes, same here as well.
It's
Yes.
so good. I
It's-
still listen to his music constantly. I'm just like, his new song, Silhouette also.
Yes.
I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Would I try and sing it now? Yes, but I do not think I can hit those notes right now. So
I definitely could not hit those notes. I can tell you that
No.
for a fact.
I've done it before, but it's so good.
Can we expect a cover of any Jean Tears song at all?
There are actually. I'm trying to think how many. Tout l'univers is definitely there.
Yeah.
I hate the music video of it. I've also done a cover of of Répondez-moi. I don't know where it is. I put it on my old channel, but I kind of removed all the Eurovision stuff. So I did it. No, this is me doing it where I played the piano myself. I didn't use the backing
lovely.
track. I
Oh,
just
nice.
played it. It's not. It's really bad.
okay.
And that was like before I'd worked out how to kind of mix music and do all
Got
that
you.
technical
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that I still don't have a clue about. But I had much less of a clue in 2020.
Yes.
So
yeah. Oh, I had no
it's
clue.
not great.
I had no clue in 2020 how music worked, let alone how to mix it. Right. The next question is, what celebrity would you love to meet?
And is this just any general celebrity?
Any general,
Because
we'll do one of each. One Eurovision celebrity and one
Okay.
general celebrity.
celebrities, my brain doesn't like connect. Pop culture, no. Eurovision culture, yes. Pop culture, absolutely not. Eurovision wise, Zala and Gasper,
Nice.
Slovenia 2019. I love them, and I would just love to just go meet them and just talk and just
Yeah.
I feel like they're just so nice and calm and chill.
Have a nice
Just-
little chinwag.
Yeah, exactly. Zala and Gasper. I mean, not in Slovenian, but their English is decent enough. So
Exactly. Perfect. No, because that's Zala Gasper, Sebi 2019. Beautiful
which
song.
is my favorite Eurovision song of all time. Sorry if that was a question, but that's the answer.
No, don't worry. I was aware of that, and I think a lot of people are actually seeing as it is your intro for pretty much
It
every
is
single
an
one of your
intro
videos.
and outro.
And outro, yes.
all the senior Eurovision stuff. Junior Eurovision's different. It's the winning song plus my favorite song, which
Nice.
will change after this year because they're both the same now.
yes, Kami.
Kami and Snunan Katani. And then, actual celebrity. I mean, this is going to be, no one's going to get this except for probably you and anyone else in the UK. I want to meet Alison Hammond.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
Icon.
No, Alison Hammond is my favorite person on the universe, apart from obviously you now because we're having this. Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
yeah,
Alison
yeah.
Hammond
Uh-huh.
is amazing. Yes,
Love her.
anyone
Yeah.
outside of the UK, basically, Alison Hammond is basically the funniest person on the planet. She is she became Rose to Fame on Big Brother about a decade and a half ago now. It must have been.
Yeah, it was ages
ago. And basically, she helps to present a show called This Morning, which is basically a breakfast TV show. and she's just funny. Whether she's getting arrested in Italy or she's...
Don't send her to Eurovision. Just keep her away from Italy. She might get arrested again. Or dropping cookies on the ground while making them with her son. Pushing someone into the water while doing the weather forecast. Like,
Exactly. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is British entertainment for you.
Yeah.
But yes, Alison Hammond would be amazing to me. I think she would be so much fun. So yes, definitely. Now, we've sort of covered a little bit of this question in your doing drugs bit at the beginning, but
What?
sorry, making drugs. Sorry, apologies,
Yes, that's the word.
making drugs. And it is, what is your dream job?
To be fair, my dream job is not anything that I will work towards.
Okay.
It's kind of something that I kind of would leave as just like, it's not going to happen, but it's a nice thought. I would love to just kind of make my own music, fully know how to produce my own music, like just completely be absorbed in that and have the time to do that. Or even have a small team. Like, I would not want a big team. I just want to have like me and a few friends to kind of just come together and make music. And if that can take off, great. If not, fair. That's the dream job, but kind of the job I want and the job that is slightly more attainable is just kind of drug development and working on the future of medicine.
Fancy helping saving all those lives. Lovely, jubbly. Very well. I would tell you that for a fact. That's probably a lot more impressive to the environment and to the future of humanity than just making music, which is pretty much the job I'm going into. So for that reason and that instance, I think you're definitely in a better position.
If you ever need someone to help with songwriting and give you weird ideas,
100%.
just send me a message. I will
100%.
absolutely give you something stupid.
Yes, you can expect the new release from Josh Rowe and Jude Kennedy coming out next week.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah. Let's get working.
Perfect. And one final question. We've got time for one more. And that is, what is your favourite video that you've ever made?
Ooh, that's such a good question. And if we're talking on the Eurovision channel only, the reaction videos, I mean, they're not the same, but they're all within a thing. So there's going to be one that's not one of those. And I've done a couple of collabs with various people actually, over the time. And I still don't know if they're my favorite. I did, like, for example, this isn't one that I did, but it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. I don't know if you know Noosh 101.
Yes.
The legend herself.
Yes.
Noosh, so we're good friends. And Luke White and then Oz. We got together after each of the semi-finals in 2021 and then the day after the final. And we did a live stream on Noosh's channel. We had something like 100,000 people watching us. And we were like, what is this?
Yes, I remember
it was
seeing
just
that.
so much fun. Yeah, it was just like so much fun. But that's not a video I've made. I would say one of the videos that kind of has meant the most to me that I've made recently as well has been my cover of Kami Kami.
Nice.
That video was so much. I mean, I had to do all weird hand movements, which I choreographed myself, aka did differently 4 times when filming and then put it together. But just kind of making that song and making that cover was so much fun. And I had so much support from Armenian people, which means so much as well. Like, all the lovely comments from people being like, I can't believe you tried this language. Like, this language is so hard and you've done it reasonably well.
I was
going
to say, you did pretty, because I remember watching that video.
Yeah.
You did pretty well at it as well. Like, a lot better than I would definitely do.
So much fun. It was just so much fun. Another one, to be fair, that I have to call out is my cover of Super... No, that's not... that's so awkward that I can't even remember it. What, the Greek song from last year? What on earth is it called?
Dance.
I was going to say Last Dance. I was going to say Supergirl. That was 2 years ago.
No, 2020, yeah.
That was one that was weird. I did camera tricks for it where I wore this hoodie, actually, and a green one that's identical to this. And I set up my camera and I had myself with my mirror reflection. And then I was able to, I did weird camera tricks where I wasn't in the mirror, or I changed colors in the mirror as part of the whole Greek kind of mythology vibes. It was so much fun to record and just kind of edit together where I'm like, I'm here and I'm not here. And yeah, people were like, what is this? And also that cover was fun because I put in a key change because it desperately needed a key change for the final chorus. Shameless plug, go listen. But yeah, those have been some of my favorites. I think making covers and the music videos for covers are much more fun because you get to explore my awkwardly creative side a bit more rather than just reactions where you just kind of I'm sitting there and the song's been released 2 minutes ago. I'm like, right, I need to get this video released. It'll take about 45 minutes to get it from right here to up online. So I'm like, go. So yeah. Perfect.
And I'm guessing that you can watch any of those music videos at Eurovision with Jude Kennedy.
You can. Online. There is a playlist.
Beautiful.
It'll be somewhere.
Beautiful. So after you finish watching this episode, go give that a little watch, a little listen.
There's 11 of them. One of them's a collab. So, big ground.
It's got everyone's afternoon sorted. Beautiful.
Exactly.
Perfect. Right. So we move on to the final segment of the show, which is appropriately called the 60-second Eurovision Extravaganza. Please enjoy saying that after a couple of drinks. Now,
or if you say it 5 times fast now,
or just say it twice now. I can barely manage it once.
60-second. I can't even go. No.
60-second Eurovision Extravaganza.
60-second. No, it's not coming out.
Not working. It's fine because saying something complicated isn't part of this. It's just giving a few quick answers. What will happen? You will have 60 seconds, and please play it along at home if you do wish, to answer as many questions as you can related to Eurovision trivia. Now, this score that you get at the end of this will be added together with your already gained 6 points from your game earlier. Now, we have had one guest on before. His name was Aaron Sibley, and after this episode, you can go and watch that. Everyone who's listening at the moment, he got a grand total of 9 points across the 2 games. So you need to score.
I need to get more than 3.
You need more 3 to equal him and 4 to beat him, and go into first place of everyone who's ever been on this show. All 2 of you.
Yes. Right. That's the aim. 4 questions. I can answer 4 in 60 seconds. I say that now.
Right. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. Let's go.
Perfect. 60 seconds starts now. What is the highest amount of points a country can receive from another at the contest?
12. No, 24.
Yes, 24. How many countries competed at the first ever Eurovision Song Contest?
I'll say 11 and move on.
7.
I don't think it was.
Irish
7.
River Dance gained international recognition when performed at Eurovision in what year?
It's 1971?
1994.
No.
How many different countries have won Eurovision?
15.
27.
These are all guesses.
In 1978, what did Jordan broadcast instead of Israel's performance, as they were politically against Israeli culture?
Did you go for ads?
I'll accept that. It was flowers.
Yeah.
When Eurovision 2020 was cancelled, what country was the favourite to win according to the betting odds?
Italy.
It was not. It was Bulgaria.
Was it not?
It was Bulgaria.
I was so set on Fire Moray winning.
No, it was Bulgaria. But to be fair, I think because when it was cancelled, it was only in March, obviously. So I think they only had about 12% chance of winning.
Oh,
Bulgaria.
yeah.
So it was it was very close, but it was Bulgaria. That gives you a grand total of 2, which puts you on 8, which puts you in second place of all time.
Second place of all time. I'll take it.
Also last, but we'll ignore that and stick to the positive side. I think.
Second.
Stick to the positive. It's second place. So that will put you, on 8 points in second place. Amazing.
There we go.
Unfortunately, though, that does mean that we have come to the end of the show.
Aww.
Now, I would love to say thank you very much to Jude for coming on. Now, Jude, is there anywhere that people can contact you, that people can follow you and keep up to date with all your stuff? Can you let all the lovely viewers know now?
Yeah, the main 2 is YouTube, Eurovision with Jude Kennedy, and also Instagram, which is Jude E. Kennedy.
Lovely, jubbly, lovely stuff. Thank you very much to everyone for listening in to the podcast. Now, there will be another episode out every single Tuesday, so I really hope you stick around and enjoy it. Thank you very much to Jude. Thank you to yourselves, and goodbye.